Hello, people. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Darsh Joshi, and I'm a BTech Computer Science and Engineering graduate, and I'm currently working as a developer in a tech company. So, today's topic, as you can see in the title, is file handling in Python, and we'll be taking a look at that now. So, what is a file hand? What do we mean exactly by file handling in Python is? When the code is terminated, the data which we made or processed or whatever no longer exists because all the programs run basically on your RAM. I'll tell you a good story about this. One second. Okay, so the story is like that. I was taking a nap before recording this video, and I was seeing some beautiful dreams or something like that. I was flying somewhere in the sky, not sure what exactly was happening. So yeah, that's a similar case for Python. When we are done running the code, it would cease to exist. It was kind of a reality, but it doesn't exist anymore. Or it felt like a reality. Anyways, apart from that story. Yeah, basically this is what file handling is in Python. So let's move to the next slide. So next slide basically is something which I just explained, like why we need to learn about file handling in Python. So file handling basically lets your program remember things after they are closed. Some real life examples are game scores, keeping a diary, or making a notes app or something like that. So yeah, this is what I explained in depth just now. So the next slide should be the CRUD operations, which is create, read, update, and delete. Create, basically you create a file in whatever format you want, and you put some data into it so that it exists. Reading basically means that we access the file and we read all the data we have stored inside that specific file. Update is not a direct method, but it's like something we can do. Like we can just read the whatever data we have and we can write it back with the changes which we want to make. Delete is also not a direct operation, but like something we can do indirectly, like deleting the data from the file. Yeah, let's move to the next slide, which should be the write operations. Okay, read methods. Yes, let's learn about write operations first. So what are write operations? I've already written some stuff on here so that we do not. I was just trying this out before recording so that I can demonstrate this properly. So here what we'll do is I'll just delete this file for now and we'll create it from scratch here. So if I press enter, it would create a file and it would write this inside that file. Let's try that out. Okay, so now we see the file has been created and here are two names which I put here, these names, and yeah, another empty character or just /n, as we can see. Yeah, that's what the write method does. There's another for this, like write lines. I'll uncomment this and we'll see that too. So what write lines is doing is basically writing as it is here. So like if I run this, then all the names like Rahul, my name, Rohit, Rohan, and Amit should be present inside that file. So yeah, here we go. So what write lines does is it basically it helps writing multiple strings inside our file. Multi-line strings, as we can call it. Like we can do this as well. Like let me just remove this. Okay, so file dot write lines, and inside this we can put some array of names. We're writing the names in a sec. Here we can put Amit, Rohan and Rohit, I guess. Now it would simply be showing the same output as it was. Okay, my bad, it's not showing the same. Yeah, I'm yes. Okay, we still need to put /n in here. It doesn't put enter like that. So this is basically how we can put multiple lines or multiple strings inside this file which you have. I'll have to run that again, I guess. That it creates. Okay, perfect. So yeah, this is like for writing out multiple lines straight into this. The next method was append, which I apparently removed before. So instead of overwriting, it would basically append inside this. Like if we have to change W to A, I'll comment this entire thing for now, and we'll do that in the next line. So with open .txt as append mode as file. Okay, there's some sorted. Okay, so file dot write. Let's add Vikram to this /10. Let's run this and we should see changes in this. Like it would add to the bottom of it, like it would add Vikram's name at the end, something like this. So yeah, that's how we append our files. The next method is like X, means create only. I comment this out and we'll write stuff again. I think create should have been the first thing which would. So what this would do is it would basically clear the entire thing up and it would overwrite whatever we have. And file dot write, we'll have to write something in that there is something to show. And if we do not write something, experimenting with that in a second. So we are getting the error .t. File exists. Okay, that will have to remove this file as well. If file exists, then this won't work. My bad. It created the file. Let's giving the first entry. We'll delete this again and we'll try with nothing. We just this out and pass. What does it do next? Okay, it still creates, but it would have nothing. Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, that's something we can do. Creating a file and then we write something on it. We can write entire strings as well, like this, and we can append our file as well. That's the write modes. Next would be read mode, like how do we read our exact thing. Let's remove this for now, and I'll uncomment all of these so that it writes something into our file. After that, we can read it later on. I'll run this one and once, and then we can start with the read methods. So yeah, I guess that's good enough. Now let's take a look at the read method. So what we can do is with open as read. R is for read, I guess. Not I guess, but so yeah, that's something we can do. We can just store the content inside a variable file.read, and we can print it out as well. See what we have. Just drag it up, and we get all the names as they are stored inside our file. Yeah, that's how we read the file. The next method is read line. What it does is it would read each line. We have read lines as well, by the way. Be checking that out as well. Okay. What is it doing is it would append thing from the between. Yes. Try it again. Now clear this up. It's giving out Rahul. So it's reading the first line only. That's like something you can do again and again. I mean, we have how many names do we have? We have 6 names. If we print this out 6 times, it would show different output. Now it should work. Okay, we are getting all the names one by one. To read line, what basically it does is it would read a singular line and throw that in the variable and give out the output. If we try read lines, what do we get? It gives all the lines in the form of an array or a list, whatever you like to call it. So yeah, that's all the methods we have for string, not strings, but like reading methods for reading what the file contains. Next, we'll be checking out file modes and what we can do, like read only, write only, append also we saw. This read plus write. R plus basically means that R plus if I do here, and I can read this as well and I can write on this as well. Let's try it out. Right. We have extra space, not an issue. Right. Mohan should be fine. Now the list should contain Mohan as well. For some reason, I guess. And try that again. Okay, there's some issue. Okay, Mohan got added at the top for some reason, because what we're doing is read lines. My bad. We should just stick to reading, and we'll try that again. What happened? Yeah, I see Mohan printed at the top, but not sure what's happening. Append this again. R plus A, I guess. Okay, R plus A doesn't take. So anyway, you get the point. We were able to rewrite what the name was. I forgot, but for that we were able to change the name here. So yeah, that's the application of R plus that I needed to discuss. Next up, we have paths. The file paths which we have two kinds of path, which is relative path and absolute path. Relative path is basically the path of the file with respect to the Python file. So if I copy the relative path from here, then I get student.txt. which is the relative path for this. Won't deny that. If I copy the absolute path, which is copy path in this, we get the exact path for this is d slash python cos slash file handling slash student.txt. I hope you have no doubts with this, because yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy. It's nothing difficult for this. Okay, so let's try with updating. Let's go with updating this stuff. Let's just do this so that we have all our names back in place. Okay, perfect. Now what we'll do is we'll be updating some names from here. For that, what we'll do is we'll make some functions as well to read all the lines which we have, and then can modify our list as and when we need. Let's get started. So the first thing we'll do is def update inside this. What we'll do is when students dot will read it out as file, and for this file what we'll do is print will file dot read lines. Now what we are getting is the output so far in this function is the array of names which should be having. Let's try calling this function. That should be good. Okay, let's call this function now. For calling this will be print. Let's try that out. Okay, we are getting all the names perfectly fine. Okay, that's enough debugging for. We're removing this as well because the thing is still incomplete. The thing we'll do is we'll take a for loop. Enumerate this. See what happens. You'll know when to do this. So what we're doing is basically naming the stuff, numbering this stuff, not naming. What we'll do is use the S strings. Discussed about these in specified videos. And yeah, so what we'll do now is students.strip. Strip basically means removing the empty spaces from both ends. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll ask the user for a choice. Call it equal here in. And write something number like that, and ask the user for a new name. This what we're doing so far is we are getting the array from the file, all the names, and we are assigning a specific number which contains the which would later be used to refer to the ID, not ID but like index, and we'll be changing that name with code. So yeah, I guess that's pretty simple and understood, I guess. Hoping for that. So what we'll do is uh, choice -1, because it is referring to this, which is like the serial number for that, and we'll be changing that to new name. Plus we'll be also adding /n just to space below that. And now what we'll do is we'll save the file again. And what we'll do is write all over it. We'll basically overwrite the and file dot write line that should be good enough. Try that out. See what happens. Okay, we are getting all the serial numbers and all the names. Let's change Amit to Ashish. Press enter, the name should be changed. Okay, my bad. Voice match equals str object is not a problem. Line, this line first should be integer, right? Str object is not supported. What does that exactly mean? Let's debug this real quick. I'll debug it real quick. Okay, I'm done debugging the code, and the issue was that I wrote student here, which should be incorrect, because student is the temporary variable and we should be calling the array which we are getting from the file. And I guess corrected code should work perfectly fine. Let's say change Amit to Ashish again. Student updated successfully, and let's check out this file. Okay, the name has been updated perfectly fine. So let's move on to delete, like how do we delete thing. So for deleting what we'll do is we'll recycle this for a second. And existent. The choice would be enter the student number to delete, and what we'll do is yeah, that should be good enough. One dot, my bad. And inside this should be. Let's try it out. I'll be deleting Ashish because why not? Okay, Ashish is gone. And I guess, yeah, that's all the crude operations we could perform on this. We were talking about paths. So relative path is what we discussed. Absolute path is something we discussed. So we are done with these operations as well. Like we created a file, we wrote something to that file, We read from the file, we append it to the file, we update it, and then we delete the object from the file. And to delete the entire file, we need to have we'll need to have the OS library installed. What we'll do is set this up, and we can do OS dot have to import that first. Go to OS dot remove print dot t. If I run this, then it should be able to remove the file. Okay, now the file ceases to exist. It does not exist anymore. So you can see the name has been crossed. It does not exist. So yeah, that's how we delete the file entirely. The next thing is the most important part of this video. It's the code challenge. So what we have to do here is create a simple daily journal that stores and reads the entries from a text file. And in addition to this, you can make the user you can make it possible to edit and also delete the files or journal entries from the stored file. I guess it's like pretty easy to do. It should have been tougher, but I'm going easy this time. So yeah, that's all I had to cover in this, and I hope to see you in the next one. Till then, keep learning and have fun.